예고 없이 찾아온 코로나19가 가져온 일상생활의 변화, 과연 위기일까요? 기회일까요? 이 위기를 기회로 삼고 있는 인공지능 기업들의 극복 사례와 더 진화하고 있는 일상 혁신을 오늘 시사저널이 인공지능 국제포럼을 통해 확인해 보겠습니다.
지난 2015년 국내 언론 최초로 개최한 인공지능 국제 컨퍼런스는 세계 인공지능 산업 분야가 나아갈 방향을 제시해오고 있습니다. 2018년부터 미래 혁신 포럼으로 확대 개편해 AI와 데이터 테크놀로지, 블록체인 등 미래 산업 구도를 바꿀 수 있는 혁신 코드를 집중적으로 다루고 있습니다.
안녕하십니까? 제6회 시사저널이 온라인 국제포럼의 AI 국제포럼에 오신 여러분 진심으로 환영합니다. 저는 오늘 사회를 맡은 시사저널이 변소인 기자입니다. 저희 시사저널이는 2015년부터 국내 언론사 최초로 인공지능 국제포럼을 개최해 왔습니다. 매년 저명한 국내의 석학들 및 전문가들과 함께 AI 발전 방향을 모색해 왔는데요. 어느덧 시사저널의 인공지능 국제포럼은 업계에서 인정받는 인공지능 행사로 자리매김했습니다. 올해는 인공지능 포스트코로나 시대를 연다라는 주제로 진행해 볼 텐데요. 포스트코로나 시대에서의 인공지능의 역할과 기능, 발전 방향에 대해 고민하는 시간을 가져보겠습니다. 그 뜻깊은 자리를 여러분들과 함께 하고자 합니다. 매회 참석해 주시는 분들의 얼굴을 마주하고 이야기 나눌 수 있는 것이 큰 기쁨이었는데요. 올해는 코로나19의 확산으로 인한 사회적 거리두기에 호응하기 위해 비대면으로 진행하게 됐습니다. 이 점 함께해 주시는 분들의 너그러운 이해를 부탁드리겠습니다. 오늘 시사저널이 인공지능 국제포럼에서 다룰 주제는 인공지능 포스트코로나 시대를 연다입니다. 예고 없이 찾아온 코로나19가 가져온 일상생활의 변화, 과연 위기일까요? 기회일까요? 이 위기를 기회로 삼고 있는 인공지능 기업들의 극복 사례와 더 진화하고 있는 일상 혁신을 오늘 시사저널이 인공지능 국제포럼을 통해 확인해 보겠습니다. 오늘 첫 번째 기조 연설입니다. 슈나이더일렉트릭 릭 르몽 부회장입니다. 실제 일상의 문제를 해결하기 위한 인공지능 운영이란 주제로 발표를 준비하고 계신데요. 전 세계적으로 확산 중인 코로나19로 인해 오늘 행사에는 직접 참석이 어려워서 강연 영상을 보내주셨습니다. 귀 기울여 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
안녕하세요. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm really happy to join you today in this forum to discuss about artificial intelligence, and particularly I would like to share with you how operationalizing artificial intelligence is helping to solve real-world problems. And in Schneider Electric, we are focusing in powering and digitizing the economy, and that's really where we apply artificial intelligence technologies to solve the world's problem in these fields. And that's what I would like to share with you today. So starting by the world we play in, our world is made of an acceleration of digitization and electrification at the same time. Digitization is going very fast with 10 times more new connected objects than individuals by 2020, which means this year. And the volume of data is also exploding in our world with only 81 billion of gigabytes in 2017, up to 403 billion of gigabytes in 2021. Artificial intelligence has been rising over the last years and is accelerating now in a worldwide expenditure on cognitive systems and AI between 17 and 22, that is multiplied by 6. And at the same time, we have a very fast move towards electrification. Electricity represents only 20% of the energy consumption as of today in the world, but is going to double its proportion, moving to 40% in the next few years. And in this mix, of course, the renewable energy is going to accelerate and to represent 50% very soon of what is solar or wind-driven in the energy mix. At the same time, the use of energy is going to shift towards electricity, such as vehicles, for example, and vehicle stocks will become electric by 2040 up to 30%. That's the world we play in, and at the same time, all this data is needing more electricity at the same time because the level of electricity needed by data infrastructure is going to be multiplied by 3. So that's the world we live in, and this world is leading to big challenges and big bets for which artificial intelligence can be one of the solutions. The big bet starts with industry. Industry will be the first one to face the bet of green and smart. And this is really where the decarbonation effort is going to be leading the pack. Decarbonation is a common challenge for mankind. It's a common challenge for all of us, but it has started earlier on in industry, as of course industry has been facing the challenge of energy efficiency and electrification, and the challenges of regulation and innovation that are brought by the decarbonation obligations. So that's the challenges we are facing. And I would like now to dive into how artificial intelligence is going to help us to face these challenges. So as of today, of course, artificial intelligence starts to be used in many applications, but not yet at industrial scale in many organizations. You look at the numbers that we have here, which is that only 23% of organizations report that they are preparing their workforce for collaborative and interactive and explainable AI-based system. And we believe at Schneider that AI can only be successful if it's really enabling people. We do not believe that AI will completely replace people. We believe in people-driven businesses, and enabling people is a key aspect. And for this, we are just at the beginning. At the same time, 79% of executives consider that they will continue to develop more variety of connected products and services, which means that the volume of data and the type of applications is going to continue to accelerate, and the volume of data is going to continue to accelerate. While at the same time, as of today, only 10% of the available data is already used for analytics and for AI purposes, which means that the opportunity overall is absolutely huge. So what should be the next steps and the methodology to make AI fully adopted in our companies and in our industries? I started doing research in AI back 30 years ago, and at that time, we had two big challenges. The first one was data availability, and the second one was computer capacity. Computer capacity has completely changed in the meantime, and data availability as well. There's one thing that has not changed, which is the amount of work that is needed to prepare and to rationalize and operationalize the data, whichever application we are seeking for artificial intelligence. Because the quality of what we extract from an artificial intelligence process depends extremely highly from the data and the quality of the data and the way the data is organized. If it's not the case, we may well end up with wrong applications. There is a common wisdom saying that when you put garbage in, you get garbage out. This is absolutely true for AI, and probably even more true because the process itself of AI relies on the quality of the data set and the way it's organized. So it's really skills that are today extremely needed by all companies to have probably 60% of the data scientist's time dedicated to what we call data janitors, who are really the people focusing on creating the right level of set of data. The second step towards AI adoption is really AI lifecycle management, where work is needed on versioning, dependency management, deployment into the production systems, so that AI becomes one professionalized, robust, and reliable embedded system inside systems that are broader most of the time, so that they can be considered as professional systems. It's a little bit AI being out of the test lab. The last, but certainly not the least, of the elements of the journey of AI adoption is to reach an AI meaningful application across organizations. So for the first two steps, we were talking about data scientists, people who are savvy about AI, who are knowing the data sets, who are knowing exactly how to interpret elements coming out of AI. Here we are talking about reaching people who are not scientists, who are not specialists, so should be able to adopt AI and trust AI based on things that are going across organizations. So that's the thread, the journey that we need to do inside companies to reach a successful deployment. Now, having said that, of course, we are trying at Schneider to use AI to have a meaningful impact on the purpose that we are serving for our customers, which is to help them serve efficiently their processes, make their processes more efficient, and make their energy more efficient. And for this, we are relying on a massive amount of data that are collected in the cloud, but we connect this data that is available in the cloud together with what is available on the edge. What we call the edge is what is very close to where the action is delivered, which might be on a shop floor, for example. And the value that AI provides is that it's crossing the massive amount of data that is available in the cloud, together with the accurate data that is collected and raw data that is collected in the edge, to be able to then empower a local workforce to make sure that all this intelligence is then collected and driven towards advising actions to people who are most of the time local workforce. That's the way we collect the data and we process the data to enable action on the shop floors in the industry, for example. For this, we rely on what we call domain experts, because to be meaningful, to be relevant in an AI-driven application in our field, energy or automation, we need to have a lot of domain expertise. Long time ago, we called that expert systems. Today, we call that domain expertise. And this domain expertise is helping to focus the AI applications on exactly what is needed to face the pain point or to enable the local workforce to be facing a challenge or to be taking the right decision. So this domain expertise would be focusing, for example, in the example that we have applied to ourselves as a doctor tests its own medicine in our Le Vaudreuil factory in France, which has been an award-winning factory from the World Economic Forum for digitizing this factory. We have focused this domain expertise on productivity, on uptime, which means having less time when the factory is closed or not planned downtime. We are focused on planned maintenance and on budget planning. These are the four domains where we have taken our experts, leveraged by AI applications on the data that we have, so that we can focus our performance on these aspects. Now, of course, to reach a meaningful deployment of AI, it's super important to work as an ecosystem. And that's clearly where our innovation at Schneider Electric has been driven over the last years, so that our innovation DNA takes really into account anything that comes from incubation, from venture investments, and from a very deep and rich network of partners, so that we can collaborate together, be able to elaborate solutions and applications at various stages of maturity, scale these applications, and ultimately industrialize these applications so that they can reach our customers at various levels, test, deployment, and industrialization, to make sure that they are meaningful and reliable at each step. So that's a collective effort, and we are organizing ourselves in our innovation cycle so that we can collaborate with our partners in this direction. This organization is now structured around Schneider Electric Exchange, which is a platform to bring together the experts and innovators across industries and to leverage. So my Schneider Electric Exchange is the place where our ecosystem can work together and co-innovate, co-develop applications, starting from technical resources and toolboxes that are in common on this platform, with best-in-class management of APIs, data science, and data sets, and SDKs. We have, of course, private and public communities where we define communities of interest around one specific topic that can collaborate and work together. And then this moves to a digital marketplace that helps publish and manage the life cycle of the application and get a common access to the market. That's how my 슈나이더일렉트릭 exchange is working. And we already have some key successes with this approach in developing AI-enabled application for our customers. Here is one example, which has been award-winning on 슈나이더일렉트릭 exchange. So InUse is a company created in 2015 based in Paris. They are developing applications for new generation connected industrial maintenance for production sites. And they have been the winner of a challenge that we have run on 슈나이더일렉트릭 exchange. Thanks to their effort, they have been leveraging the data and leveraging machine learning analytics in order to optimize the cleaning operations, notably in the water industry, winning 18 minutes per operation on average and saving 20% in water savings. This application is today available on Exchange and has been award-winning by 슈나이더일렉트릭 Exchange and by French Fab, which is the French association for Industry 4.0. So this is the journey that we are in at 슈나이더일렉트릭 in enabling AI embedded applications into Industry 4.0 and into new energy landscape. We are, of course, to make this journey successful and adopted by all kinds of industries, we are mindful of keeping this into an ecosystem and into an architecture of IoT-enabled infrastructure and products and equipments, which is what 슈나이더일렉트릭 is bringing with the EcoStruxure platform, where AI applications are most of the time present in the upper layer of technology of this technology platform, which is applications, analytics, and services. Even though we have some AI-driven application in closer to the shop floor, to the endpoint, as we call it, in the connected products and edge controlling systems. But what matters the most is the consistency of this open architecture, which enables our customers, any kind of industries or infrastructure, to be able to pick into this technology platform what they need to ensure energy efficiency and process efficiency, where they would sometimes take an application, sometimes take connected products that are ensuring power distribution or ensuring automation, so that overall they build a consistent platform so that they can deliver their process and their energy in a reliable and in an efficient way. The benefit of that, when our customers are taking this consistent approach, is really mind-blowing. And we are talking today about more than 500,000 sites that have been equipped with these technologies, with a benefit that is showing that on energy efficiency, for example, when you use correctly the data that is collected on the various infrastructures, you can reach, in average, 30% of energy efficiency, up to 85% in some cases. On productivity, we have also extremely high savings on the CapEx cycle, using AI and other type of application to be drilling down the level of CapEx, but also on the OpEx maintenance phase by a very significant magnitude, 75% in some cases, at least in average, more than 30%, which is typically what we can save in most of the type of industries. The reliability is another aspect that is extremely increased by this application, 50% of reliability, which helps to cut down the downtime, or at least the unexpected shutdown of sites. And I can remind you that in most of the industries, a shutdown that is unexpected has a very high cost. It's millions of dollars in most of the cases, while when you can avoid that, of course, this is added productivity. Safety is another aspect that is super important. Thanks to these applications, we can improve safety by 25%. And overall, the gain on sustainability, decarbonation notably, is close to 50%. So that's really statistics out of 500,000 more sites and counting, which have been benefiting from the deployment of EcoStruxure. Now, we continue our journey in deploying innovation and growing our ability to bring a meaningful and consistent data-enabled offer to our customers. And that's with the latest step that has been announced a few weeks ago. AVEVA, the company where 슈나이더일렉트릭 is the majority shareholder, AVEVA is our software company for industry softwares, has been announcing the combination with OSIsoft. And this combination will enable to bring together the forces of AVEVA in all the suites of digital software that are enabling design, build, operate, and maintain of any kind of infrastructure, together with a very strong data management and cloud and AI-driven applications coming from OSIsoft, which will change scale again of our capabilities in data management and in industry software with the combination of these two companies. So that's still the continued development of 슈나이더일렉트릭 in the data-driven efforts and AI-enabled efforts for industry. So concluding on how to build a successful transformation on data and AI-enabled application in industry, there is no absolute rule, but what we can share here is what we have learned over the past decades on what works and what doesn't work, and what are the key elements that are helping a successful journey in deploying AI in any kind of industry. The first one is to try and to start with some tests and to have a cost-effective scaling after this test. The second one, I mentioned it already, it's domain expertise. Is to be really focusing on the quality of the domain expertise that is driving the data usage. The third one is the integration of industrial and engineering softwares so that it can help to have a consistent data end-to-end approach. Otherwise, the scattered aspect of data becomes a real hurdle. The fourth is that it's super important to leverage an ecosystem and an open architecture, because closed systems are really a big hurdle to the road to success. And the fifth, and certainly not the least, and probably the most important one, is that the focus must be on people. Anything that is people-centric, enabling people to use the data better, enabling people to use the application that are AI-driven better, is the road for success. So that's the 5 principles on which we are betting at 슈나이더일렉트릭 to make this journey for our customers a success. I have a few examples of customer success to share, and I will finish by these examples to come to concrete outcome of these efforts. As an illustration, I would like to share with you some examples of what we have achieved with some of our customers by deploying these technologies that are data and AI enabled, thanks to the EcoStruxure platform. I will start with a Korean customer. This customer is called Hung Ha. is the top packaging machinery manufacturer in Korea. This customer wanted to work with us on some of the challenges that they were facing in monitoring real-time data produced by packaging machine, and in order to identify the exact problem and plan predictive maintenance action that may be needed on their machines, and to have a safe and efficient facility operation to maintain their machines everywhere in the world. So we have worked with them by deploying our EcoStruxure Augmented Operator Advisor, which is a software AI-enabled that is collecting all the data that is relevant for the machine, and based on this data is providing guidance to the operator and to the maintenance services so that they can have real-time data monitoring by dashboard. They can identify the defective and genuine production rate, and that they can have quick diagnosis without professional engineer help in case of machine failure. So all that has helped Hungha to have to meet their targets and to have a much more efficient operation of their machines thanks to this application. So that's one example. The next one is a company that is called Casa Granado. Casa Granado is a very well-known, very old brand of cosmetics in Brazil, founded in 1870. And Casa Granado wanted to have a better integration between two production lines, to have a tailored and flexible production between various kinds of production, to be able to identify bottlenecks and to reduce their time to market. We have developed with them a full state-of-the-art EcoStruxure solution, connecting all levels of the business with an open and flexible architecture to converge the information technology and the operational technology. With this, they managed to be simple and fast in a reconfiguration for new products, which is most of the time one of the big challenges of industry, notably in fast-moving consumer goods. They ensure their compliance with the FDA standards, and they have, of course, a more empowered and more efficient workforce, which is enabled by this future-proof solution. Thanks to that, they estimate that they have gained 10 to 15% of production thanks to the application that we have deployed with them, which is relying on application in the software layer, of course, but also on the data and the detailed knowledge that we have in the shop floor with the edge controlling systems and the products that we have to help drive the lines of production. The third one that I would like to share is UPS. No need to present UPS. This is a very well-known global company. UPS wanted to help them to face some challenges, which is changing consumer buying trends that are driving parcel volumes higher, while on-time delivery rates remain a critical measure for them. And to meet demand, existing sorting processing facilities must be maintained while expansions of new facilities are in process. And they wanted also efficiency and sustainability at global corporate level, so that they could meet their environmental impact and carbon footprint as objectives defined at corporate level. What we have deployed with them is our EcoStruxure machine, motion automation solutions, and modernization services, so that they could help follow their all parcel processes and be able to be much more efficient in the way they deliver the parcel tracking and the parcel allocation, which help them increase their operational insight and higher reliability of operation, simplify processes and improve performance, and increase process efficiency. They are very satisfied of the result, as expressed by John Stenson, their Vice President for Corporate Plant Engineering. The last example I would like to share with you today is one of our Schneider factory, located in Batam, Indonesia. It's a factory where we have gradually improved the digitization of the factory. It's one of the factories that have been awarded as a lighthouse of the World Economic Forum as well. And over the past years, we have deployed in Batam all the layers of EcoStruxure applications, enabling to fulfill the energy and process efficiency that is necessary to reach industry of the future. During the pandemic, our own Batam factory was, of course, able to remain operating because engineers could monitor and manage multiple functions, systems, and locations remotely. And this has enabled overall these applications plus the efforts that we have made before to reach 44% of reduction in machine downtime, 12% of operational efficiency increase, and 17% of reduction on maintenance and repair time. There is, of course, a specific application that has been deployed and accelerated during the COVID crisis time, which I would like to share with you. This is a smart glass remote assistance, which has enabled our employees to solve issues with the guidance of some external experts, saving travel costs, risks, and upskilling the internal technician, and also allowing to work together without being able to be on site, which has been our case for all the companies globally over the last 6 months. So I propose to you to share this experience with you with a video that is coming now.
We are implement smart glass for remote assistant. The solution is to direct communicate between us in internal and our expertise in outside of Schneider or sometimes outside of Indonesia. Yeah. As you know, that some of our vendor is outside of Indonesia. For example, last time we have an issue with our soldering machine. We need to get the support from the expert from Thailand. Then when we call them to visit Batam, they have a difficulties because their passport is expired and the visa is not ready also. So that's why we try to find the solutions and then we implement smart glass remote assistant. So they can guide us from Thailand and technicians in Indonesia, they can do by themselves. So we also can increase upskill our technician skill because technicians do by themselves with the guidance from our expertise in outside of company. So with this tool also we can expedite the troubleshooting and then we can speed up also the solving of the issue. Thank you.
So this concludes my presentation today. I hope that I gave you some light on how artificial intelligence can be enabling an accelerated digitization and an accelerated energy efficiency journey for industries and infrastructure, which is really the purpose of Schunaiderelektric. And if you have any question or any type of application or pain point that you would like to solve for your company, I would be more than delighted to answer your questions either in this forum or at a later stage. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
네, 슈나이더일렉트릭 릭 르몽 부회장님의 기조연설 영상 함께 보셨습니다. 인공지능을 통해 새로운 에너지 환경을 만드는 과정, 탈탄화 방법 등이 좀 설명을 잘 들으셨는지 모르겠네요. 또 스마트 글래스로 원격 지원 기능을 하는 모습도 굉장히 인상적이었습니다.